on Saturday, January 30th. So we awake to the moon in Virgo. So this is an interesting energy because we tend to feel very heavy, very weighted down, very, very connected to our earthly realms when the moon is in an earth sign. The moon in Virgo is very much still in the mental plane because Virgo is actually ruled over by Mercury, the ruler of the mental plane, new information, reorganizing thoughts, analyzing where it is we're going from here. So there's a lot of mental stimulation and we're very connected to reorganizing our space. We're taking care of tasks, of chores. Maybe we're a little bit OCD, trying to throw ourselves into projects, cleaning projects, laundry, whatever the case may be. There's an element here where our physical bodies take very much joy in earthly errands, earthly chores, earthly tasks, but our mental plane is sorting through some stuff. And we have a lot to sort through because of the revelations that we had underneath the full moon in Leo. The moon is the star of the show again. We are having about 12 different aspects between the moon and the other planets. And some of those aspects are, tension points, because tension points make us uncomfortable enough to start thinking about how the hell we're going to solve this problem. How the hell can I find myself back into a place of peace and harmony within myself by settling some of the issues that I'm having in my mental plane. So no doubt, we're definitely going to feel some highs and some lows. There are some beautiful moon aspects taking place, some beautiful trines, one with Uranus, which is great because Uranus, wants us to think bigger and brighter and have new aha moments of inspiration. That's where the problem solving comes in. And the moon is also going to be trining Mars. So Mars is a fiery energy, of course, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, even our anger, if we let it. And so there's a lot of beautiful energies coming together to give us a boost of confidence, a boost of clarity, a boost of energy to actually make things happen. Now, the only other thing that is taking place on Saturday outside of all the moon aspects is Mercury going retrograde in Aquarius. This is our first Mercury retrograde of 2021. It is an interesting one because if you would have listened to January's energy forecast, we definitely go more into depth about what you can expect from this Mercury retrograde. But all of this year's Mercury retrogrades are in air signs. That's fascinating. This is fascinating. Why? Mercury is ruling over the mental plane, ruling over information, ruling over changing our perspectives, learning new things, multitasking, being able to communicate our thoughts and feelings. This is our mental plane on point. Now, this Aquarian energy, of course, ruling over new ideas and new approaches and expanding our mind and new ideas of inspiration and aha moments. Well, like a typical Mercury retrograde, we have to slow things down. We have to revisit some things. We have to reprocess some of the situations that have happened, especially in the last month. We've had a lot of information come at us. We've had a lot of different perspective changing ideals. Most of us go into a brand new year with this huge list of things that we're going to do, and most people have failed by the time the end of January has come. There's a lot of reasons for that, but astrologically speaking, coming into a new year is not the time to be starting anything new. We have a tendency to put a lot of pressure on ourselves to hit certain goals, to really come out of the gate just charging forward. And a lot of people fail miserably because we're not supported by the cosmos for doing big things like that. As I've been talking about throughout this month, this was a time for baby steps. This is not a time to take 4 steps forward. This is a time to take one very logical and practical step forward in the plan that will bridge the gap between where it is that you are and where it is that you want to be. So if you find yourself in a realm of disappointment, in a realm where you feel like you failed already, Don't beat yourself up because you're actually more in alignment with what the cosmos wants you to do at this particular juncture in the calendar than hitting the ground running with all your New Year's resolutions. So let's not beat ourselves up. Mercury retrograde is going to give you a little bit of a chance to review those plans, to maybe re-edit them a little bit, to take a step back, to really just see that this is more of a time for thinking than it is a time for action. And a lot of beautiful things can come out of a Mercury retrograde, but you have to be cautious that communication is down, technology is down, travel is down. Anything with a lot of moving parts, your mental plane included, is going to be operating at its lowest capacity possible. So with that being said, having those cautions, don't be afraid of a Mercury retrograde. It is provided to us for an opportune time of healing. It is when we get to rest, when we get to recharge, when we get to rejuvenate ourselves back to a place of safety and comfortability, recognizing that we took way too much on, recognizing that we just feel so disappointed within ourselves because we haven't accomplished anything in the first month of 2021. Again, you're not supposed to. So I just invite you to take a time out, to step back, to review, to revise, and to let the cosmos do its thing. So just a little bit of a disclaimer for some ascension symptoms that you can expect this week. Of course, with the sun in Aquarius, we want to know that there's still going to be some residual pressure in our headspace. Why? Because our third eye is just pulsating. We are bringing in cosmic information from the collective in our crown chakra. We are seeing life from a different perspective, not using our physical eyes, but with our third eye. So we can expect sinus pressure, head pressure, an awkward, hey, do I have a headache? Doesn't really feel like a headache. That is okay. We are going to feel some very intense zaps of energy, not only in our central nervous system where restlessness and anxiety is concerned, but we are also going to feel a sudden shakeup, a sudden wake up in our heart activations. Why? Because we're having the full moon in Leo. That is the heart chakra. Again, we have built up a lot of walls around our heart chakra trying to keep ourselves safe and protected, not realizing that we're actually blocking some blessings by doing so, that we're actually blocking and locking out pleasure and joy. So a recalibration of this particular heart chakra is definitely needed. And because we have a couple of other aspects at play, we just have to understand that the root chakra in our lower back, especially felt in our hips, maybe even in our knees, get rigid, get locked up from time to time. Why? Because we have a thought, we bring that in the mental plane, especially about change, especially about where it is that we need to push forward. We have that heart activation in our chest, in our emotional selves. And then our root chakra that keeps us very locked to this 3D realm wants us to push forward, but we're afraid. Why are we afraid? Because it's change. Should we be afraid of change? Of course, that's what our ego is here to do, is to keep us safe. But we're in the age of Aquarius now. We have to make changes. We have to align. We have to ascend. And all part of that is jumping into foreign territory, trusting the universe, trusting yourself enough to know that, yes, taking a step forward is absolutely needed. And it's a hell of a lot better than staying in the same place, not making any changes, and yet praying for a different outcome. So be mindful of your physical body, because your physical body is telling us where the energy is trapped in our physical bodies. And we just need to take the opportunity of having these ascension symptoms, working through it, tapping into your grounding practice, connecting with nature, going for a salt bath, whatever you find to be the most grounding, the most present type of practice for you, do it. And you're definitely going to need to do it even more, especially when the full moon in Leo takes place. So that is your very last full week of January's energies. I am definitely looking forward to February, although February is going to be a little bit cray-cray because there's a lot of built-up energy taking place. We have a beautiful stellium taking place in Aquarius, which I'm sure I'm excited about. I don't know how excited about it that you're going to be, but you know what? February's energy forecast is dropping in just a couple of days, and that will have the ins and outs on all you can expect from the month ahead. So I want to thank you so much for tuning into this week's energy forecast. I hope you have a beautiful week, and we'll talk to you soon.